So guys, in this video we are going to work on the bullet of our player. So for doing that we need to go to our game asset. Then there we are going at the ship folder and we have here a sprite. I'm going to drag it in our scene. And as you see here, his direction is toward the right side. So I'm going to change the direction by Z, by rotation Z at 90. So next step, we are going to add component box collider or circle collider or capsule collider. It's depending on you. Going to adjust it. So then I'm going to make it trigger, and also we need a rigid body for moving that, and make gravity scale to 0. Right now, so sorry guys, I got a little bit of bug that I couldn't use my mouse, so I need to restart my Unity again. So then everything will work fine. So here I'm going to name it. This doesn't work as well. Okay, I'm going to restart my Unity and come back again. So now after I restart my Unity again, I can get access and change everything. So here I'm going to call it bullet, or just call it player bullet. Then we need to write a new script for that. I'm going first to create a new folder, call it player, and put the old player script inside of that. So now let's go to our player script, player folder, and make a new script. Going to call it player bullet. So now I'm going to attach that player bullet to our object. So now let's go inside. In the top, I need a speed to move our object. So public float speed. Then also we need the rigid body. Going to call it RB this time. And RB is equal to get component, rigid body 2D, and in update we want to move it, so we need to call the orbital velocity, and is equal to vector2 dot up multiplied by speed. So now let's save it and going back to the game. Up is for direction for y. That's why we use the up, because we want that our bullet going toward top up to the y in positive direction. So now first I'm going to, because if we don't give it a speed, our bullet doesn't move even when we shoot. Now if I going to give this a speed of 5, and you see that our bullet is moving toward up. So now next step, we need to make our bullet as a prefab so we can instantiate it from our script. So now let's go to our player script. Here I'm going to write a new variable. I'm going to call it public game object. Player bullet. So now the next things we need to write public transformer. I'm going to use the array because if we want to shoot more than one, transform array and fire points. Now let's go back to our update. But before, let's go and make this transform fire point so that we don't get any problem. So here at our player, I'm going to right click, create an empty object, call it fire point. Then I'm going to bring that fire point there. So now let's go back to our script again. You can also, if you want to see where exactly you shoot, you can make a small dot here so you can you will know where is exactly. But for now, I'm not going to use that. If you want to delete it, you can just click on this none here. Okay, now let's go to our player controller. Then let's go down in our update. We are going to write if input dot get button down. The button that we want to push is our fire one. Our mouse position 0. So it's our left mouse position. Then we want to instantiate our player bullet. So you call the instantiate. Then inside of the parenthesis, as you see here for the instantiate, we need an object. So object original, that is our player bullet. Then we need a position and notation. So for the position and notation, we want that on the position and notation of our fire point. So here, the object is our player bullet, then fire points, because we use the array, we need also to use the array as well. So fire point index number 0 dot position. Then we want fire points number 0 dot rotation. So now I'm going to give a space. So here I'm going to write when we push left mouse button, then we should shoot. It's interesting that I write for all of my script, my code information, but it's gone after I restart my Unity. So now here we need to copy PE of the object from prefab and send send it from our FirePoint position. Now let's save it. Going back, we should get a little bit of problem. I'm going to show you why. Here we need a player bullet. I'm going to have a prefab and add our player bullet there. And FirePoint, here we have a FirePoint. I'm going to drag it there. Now when we shoot, we have a problem with our bullet. As you see, the bullet is turning to the right side. So to fix that, we need to go to our FirePoint and make the rotation Z at 90 as well. Let's see if we fixed our problem. Yeah. So now we can shoot. So without any problems. But right now we have a problem that when we shoot, as you see, we need every time click on our mouse button to shoot. And when we hold the mouse button, we cannot shoot them because we say that if we push the button down, then shoot the bullet. So now if I'm going to remove this down here, let's see what will happen. Now as you see, when I shoot, we are going to create lots of bullets at the same time. So we don't want that. Let's go back in the top. Here I'm going to make another variable. So now public float, and we want to write fire rate. The next one will be our private. Then going to write next fire. Now here where we are going to shoot, we want also write and time. If our current time is bigger than our next fire, then we are allowed to shoot. And here we need also to save the next fire is equal over time, the time plus our fire rate. So now let's save it. I'm going to check it. So here at our player, we are going to call our player rate, fire rate to 1. So I'm going to just bring it up. .2. Now let's see how is it. As you see, when we push the button and we fire not like before, we give a space between each fire. And if you want to see what exactly happened, we can go into debug. Inside of the debug, you can see all the info that is happening here. You see the next fire, is always the time between them. So now let's go back to normal. Going to stop it. Now I want to make more fire points, so I'm going to Control D. But before I'm going to come near, fire point will be there. Then I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going first, let's delete it. I'm going to name this one. Now I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to bring this one a little bit to this side. Maybe there. And duplicate it again. And there. Then duplicate it again. We can then somewhere else. So where should we? A little bit to other side. Or just I'm going to here make one here, second, and third. I think third is enough, so I'm going to delete the fourth. So now let's add them to our player. Going to drag it and put it there. So now I'm going to have a player controller. In the top, I'm going to write also public int fire level, and as a default, I'm going to put it 1. Now I'm going to our update where we want to instantiate our bullet. We are going to write, so if fire level is bigger than or equal to 1, then we want to instantiate from our point 1 then I'm going to copy this line and paste it here for 2 times, or just 1 times, and here instead of level 1 I'm going to call it level 2 and copy that. Downside, I'm going to paste it. I'm going to 1 and 1. So we want to instantiate from the position, the 5-point index number 0 and number 1. And then we call the level 3. We want also instantiate again from index 2 as well. So if you have more, so you can add more instantiator. So now let's save it. Now I'm going to the game and check it. So here make it big, and when we shoot, that's our first level. Then I'm going to level 2. We have a 2 bullet, and level 3 we have a 3 bullet. So just now that everything's worked fine, let's move to the next video. See you in the next video.